Joining us now is retired CIA Operations Officer and Senior Vice President of Strategic Risk and Intelligence at Continental Strategy, Rick de la Torre. Rick de la Torre, thank you for joining us on Power Hour. Let's start with the Russia-Ukraine conflict. And the US is awaiting a proposal from Russian President Vladimir Putin that may lead to a ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine. Secretary Marco Rubio says that he does think Putin will cut a deal.
We can all agree on. There is no military solution to this crisis.
Right.
It will have to end in a negotiated settlement. And the fundamental challenge we have in Ukraine is this. Russia wants what they do not currently have and are not entitled to, and Ukraine wants what they cannot regain militarily. And that's been the crux of the challenge.
What's your assessment of where things are at the moment? Do you think there is enough evidence that Putin is willing to bring this war to an end?
I think the jury's still out on that one, really. I think what we witnessed in the past couple of days is really that Trump did something that other administrations had not done, and that is he didn't seek permission from NATO or the EU or the UN. He just picked up the phone, gave a telephone call to Putin, and had that kind of conversation that we generally want from leaders. This is what peace through strength looks like when two leaders having a real conversation, not performative posturing, not endless summits where nothing gets done. Trump is doing what Biden never did or could. He's asserting U.S. leadership and testing whether peace is actually on the table. Now, he's not naive about Putin. Putin, he's also not willing to drag America through another endless war, though, just to satisfy defense contractors or NATO bureaucrats. If Putin's serious, we'll see Trump get some results, and if not, Putin will face increased pressure from the U.S. in the form of serious sanctions.
We've also heard from Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky. He's accused Russia of trying to buy time to continue the war in Ukraine. He says that Russia is putting forward unrealistic conditions and must face tough consequences. But Russia maintains it is willing to participate in negotiations. What do you make of Zelensky's comments?
I think he's playing the media and the news correctly, as he should be, right? He's calling Putin's bluff. He's saying, "Hey, I'm here. I'm ready to negotiate. Come along, Putin. Let's go with it." And sadly, the more Putin drags this out, the worse it does look for him in the eyes of others. They are confirming a lot of the biases that those in Europe and many here in the United States have.
Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni has revealed that Pope Leo had confirmed during a phone call with her his willingness to host in the Vatican the next round of negotiations to try and bring the Russia and Ukraine war to an end. What's your response to this?
Well, look, I think that's fine, as long as it's not just for show. This administration, the United States, Trump, supports diplomacy, but only if it leads somewhere, right? If Pope Leo wants peace, well, that's great, but peace without pressure is just performance, right? If Trump's team shows up, it'll be with leverage, not platitudes. So no more empty declarations, no more moral grandstanding. Real diplomacy means consequences for bad actors and results for the people that are paying the bills. The Vatican can certainly host the table, but Trump's team needs to bring the muscle that's required to make something stick at these peace talks.
I want to talk to you about Joe Biden. You've written about his cancer diagnosis and you say that stage 4 doesn't just sneak up on a sitting president surrounded by round-the-clock care, daily briefings and the most comprehensive medical infrastructure on the planet. Either they knew and they hid it or they were too incompetent to even notice. And after years of watching Biden stumble, mumble and disappear from the public eye, the "we didn't know" excuse doesn't pass the laugh test. So let's stop pretending that Joe Biden was ever truly in charge. So that is the real question. Who was in charge? And Rick, was it his staff? What do you think?
Well, I know his presidency was simply theater. He was a figurehead, the comforting symbol for a party that didn't want leadership; it wanted control. The
Mm.
real decisions came from the back rooms, the activists, handlers, unelected bureaucrats, and the media allies who exist to clean up his messes. Every gaffe was brushed off, right? Every moment of confusion that we witnessed was downplayed. Every bad decision, from Afghanistan to inflation, all those were just spun by the press corps that had already stopped asking the real questions and just became part of the PR machine. So Biden wasn't leading the country; he was reading a teleprompter written by the people who actually were. And the American people saw through it as we went into into the election, and that's one of the reasons why Democrats did so poorly in the past election. Joe Biden was a cardboard presidency. Someone else wrote the script, and he just read it.